Welcome to the show, where the truth gets very low. Every scream's a dollar sign, every lie's by design. Corporate masters pull the strings, watch the puppets dance and sing. Unlimited tirade, we're cutting through the masquerade. Unlimited tirade, no more feeding on that fake parade. We're see through the charade. Unlimited tirade.
Hello, hello, hello. What is up, everybody? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is I, Decrepit, the hooded lad in the corner of the cantina, and we are back once again with another amazing episode of Unlimited Tirade, the tirade that is unlimited over here on the Decrepit channel. What's up, everybody? Appreciate it. Seeing you guys all in the chat. Everybody was getting riled up and rowdy, ready to go for tonight. Appreciate seeing that. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let me get in my co-host. Of course, you know him, you love him, you can't wait to see him. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Narrowdark. How you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. We're here.
What's up,
We're
man?
back.
Good to see you. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
back once again to punish you guys in your ears with another ear beating of nerdtisms. Real quick before we go crazy, man, I'm gonna say what's up to some people in the chat. We had Mr. Double A in the building. What's up, Double A? He said I was bullied to be in this live stream. What are the oranges for? I don't know. We got Mr. Oddball in the building. What's up? He said actually catching it live. What's up, guys? What's up, Ball? What's up, Oddball? Good to see you. We got Double A saying happy late birthday to George Lucas. Yes, happy late birthday. I was just talking to Narrowdark behind the scenes, and he's ahead of time, so it's 10 p.m. over here, United States Pacific time, and where he's at, he's in the future, and he lives in Australia, so he's on Friday around like 3 p.m. for his time. So for him, it was in the past, so it was yesterday for him, but we're celebrating today on my end. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the room. Oddball was dancing to the beat. Yeah, man. The intro's growing on me. It took me a while to get used to having the intro be a little more upbeat, a little more lively, but it grew on me. I think everybody's digging it. Everyone likes it. Mike C is in the building. Good evening, gentlemen. The temperature is 110 degrees. That can go get fucked, my friend. You can get fucked with that temperature. Unfortunately, I know that temperature is going to be hitting my part of California here in the near future when it comes to the thick of summer. So not gonna be ready for that. Double A said the quiet Sith Lord is risen. Yes, I am. I am back. I missed you on your last stream. My bad, bro. Oh, no worries. So what happened was, guys, real quick. The last stream that I did was a solo tirade. I want to say last week or at the top of this week. I did it like Monday or Tuesday. And I ended up removing the live stream because it was just so glitchy and so bad quality. And I didn't want that blemish to be sitting there on the channel. So we went ahead and we took that down for you. I'm trying to clip out some things here and there that might be useful for like a replay material. But if we end up losing that live stream, don't stress. Don't worry. It was nothing that was too crazy. So appreciate you guys acknowledging it nonetheless. We got February in the building. What's up, boys? What's up, February? Good to see you. We got Star Wars Forge is also in the building. Good to see you, Star Wars Forge. Happy birthday to George Lucas. Hello, my fellow Legends fans. What's up, man? Good to see you. So yeah, guys. Yeah, today we are celebrating Mr. George Lucas's 82nd birthday. That is 82 years since a legend has been gracing us with his presence, as if Jesus could have walked a second time amongst the peasants that are humans themselves. George Lucas has been that guy. He has been the legend that we don't deserve, but the legend that we always needed and loved. And I just wanted to say real quick, we can get a little bit of feedback from the chat as well. But Narrowdark, I wanted to ask you, man, is George Lucas, you want to say George Lucas is top 3 of all time, like filmmaker wise, top 3? Are we that bold?
Well, me personally, I'd say he's definitely made some of my favorite movies. So I would say, yeah, definitely one of the best.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever watch his first film, American Graffiti? Did you ever watch that one yourself?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
No, no. Okay, some purists might say fake fan, but right on. Did you know? Fun fact: I don't know if you knew Narrow Dark, but if anyone has ever looked it up, George Lucas is actually from a town that's like not too far away from where I'm from, Modesto, California. That's about I want to say it's like in between. No, it's past Merced. Yeah, if you go north on the 99 over here in California in the Central Valley, you go up north a little bit of ways past Fresno and Modesto, California. It's not the biggest city, but it's pretty big in comparison to a lot of the smaller towns we have over here. But yeah, man, I just always thought that was very neat. Always having George Lucas's stomping grounds in the backyard, and I want to say also too, I believe that he filmed American Graffiti in Modesto, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look that up, but anyway, yeah, I've always thought that was neat. Another thing too, I was gonna say, American Graffiti that came out in 1973. It was George's first like big hit film. It wasn't a hit off the rip, of course, but it did lay some groundwork as far as amazing actors such as Harrison Ford. We got Harrison Ford's debut in that film, and I want to say Star Wars 1977 was the acting debut for Mr. Mark Hamill, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say Carrie Fisher, but I think Carrie Fisher might have been in something previously. Can't remember off the top of my head. Um, I've always been a fan of Star Wars. Star Wars is obviously one of the most nearest and dearest things to my heart, and I could say the same for everybody in the chat or whoever's watching this on the replay. If you're watching this channel, you love Star Wars, period. But and he also is responsible for one of the most amazing film franchises, and that is Indiana Jones. So the first film for Indiana Jones released in 1981, that being, of course, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I think I want to say, man, I probably like Indiana Jones like not as much as I like Star Wars, but it's close. It's up there. Like Indiana Jones is an amazing franchise, and I don't know if you recognize Crystal Skull and then the what is it, Dial of Destiny, that newer one they tried to pawn off to us a couple years back. But I think Indiana Jones, I think you could stand it alone. The first three films, pretty solid trilogy. It stands the test of time. Very classic, very timeless trilogy.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of like Crystal Skull, honestly.
You know what? I didn't want to like put myself on the sacrificial table for it, but I like Crystal Skull too. There's things that I like in it, and I know that it's not the most perfect film. Mud, the character that is Indy's son, played by Shia LaBeouf, it's not my favorite thing, but I thought it was way more true to the lore and to the characters, and everything was really respected. Obviously, George had like full hands on with that film, so I don't know when it came to the Dial of Destiny movie. I don't know how involved George was with that one, but
I doubt at all, really.
yeah, yeah, I didn't really follow too much on the PR for that
Is he
for that movie.
is he a producer on the film?
He has to be. He has to be listed as a producer. I want to say
Right.
at least.
From what I understand about producing, most of the time you don't really have any control over anything,
Yeah.
and you just basically get paid. And you
Well,
give them some money, and then you get some money back, and that's kind of it, really.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say right there with like giving money, executive producers are typically like big major donors for a film in particular or a project, and then that gets them a list on the fucking credits at the end of the film. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I know, like
uh,
George R. R. Martin has spoken about it being because he's an executive producer on those Game of Thrones shows, but the showrunners can do whatever they want and just completely ignore whatever he says if they
yeah,
want it, even though he's an
yeah,
executive producer.
yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, that's some of the parts of it. You can be listed on it, and it's going to be remain, or it's going to be acknowledged as your property that you started back in the day or whenever you started it. But once the hands of the corporate Hollywood claws get sunk into it, then it's kind of it is what it is at that point, basically.
That's
Uh,
why, like, when you see something from Disney that has George Lucas's name on it, doesn't mean
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Or even
exactly.
like if you see something you think is good, but it's got like Dave Filoni's name on it, doesn't
Mhm.
mean he did anything. Not that he does anything good anyway.
Yeah, but typically, if Filoni's name on it, I want to say that he had a hand or two in
Yeah,
what
he's like
what was
the creative.
produced.
He's like the CEO now, so he's
Like, I mean,
probably
look when Acolyte was coming out, Filoni was part of the red carpet event. He was part of the PR and the preview coverage, like the behind the scenes for the Acolyte stuff, and that's because no everyone was already dogpiling on Leslie Headland or Headlamp, I called her, but
I
everyone was
call
already dog.
her I
Go
call her
ahead.
Leslie Blockhead.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of creative names for that one. But she was basically getting dogpiled on, and rightfully so, for a lot of the slip ups, especially her being like the former assistant to Harvey Weinstein. But um, I think that they put Filoni right next to her, like really closely, and they put them talking in interviews together because they were trying to save face and get some good PR for the show. That way that they could have like a little bit of a better result once it hit the streaming service. So I want to say, but I say all that to say it didn't really help them because where's that season 2, baby? Uh, real quick in the chat, I know I'm rambling, but I'm getting on ahead of myself. But we also have George Lucas fans in the chat that want to let their voices be heard. Forge said Darth Plagueis is a George Lucas creation, and he also ordered him to be immune, and he also ordered James Luceno to give Plagueis his transpirator mask. All hail George Lucas. Yep. George, it's almost like George Lucas had a big hand to play in key things that he decided for when it came to creating expanded universe content. Who would have thought? Who would have thought it? February said the reason Anakin always drives a yellow ship in every prequel movie is that it's a reference to the main yellow Ford from American Graffiti. That is correct, February. Thank you for acknowledging that. It's a little fun fact for you guys. I know. Yep, that is true. Forge said Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is the best one. Whoa, that's a hot take, Forge. It's a hot take. You saying the best one out of like regarding the first three? Because that's a hot take.
I'd say it's definitely well. I haven't seen the new one, but I like how weird it is.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking
Yeah, it's
aliens.
got like that psychological kind of like I don't know, I guess you could I don't want to say sci-fi, but there's like a spiritual psychological kind of like psychedelic like
Yeah.
twist to it.
Weird.
And
Yeah, I think it's more sci-fi than the other ones.
yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, not counting like the supernatural stuff going on when they find the Ark of
Yeah,
the
I mean, like
Covenant in
to
the
me,
first
that's why
film.
there's like a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. No, but it's the best one, not in my opinion, but like I like me personally, I enjoy Last Crusade. I think Last Crusade might be
Yeah,
my
dude.
favorite. That's my favorite Indiana Jones
I
film.
same. Like I still like the whole thing with the Holy Grail and how it's like it's this shitty cup and it's not
Oh
this like
yeah.
lab. I love that moment. That's such a good moment. And then yeah, fucking good shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He chose poorly. Oddball said Lucas is a legend forever. That he is, sir. That he is. Forge said Narrowdark really enjoyed Yoda Dark Rendezvous. Oh yeah. That was the video you just put out
Yeah,
right there. Your little
I actually got around to making a video on a novel that I had just finished. Like it took me forever, but
hell yeah, man. Right on. Yeah, I did end up watching the video. I shared it on the channel. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Like to see it. If you guys don't know already, man, go follow Narrowdark's YouTube channel. His info and credits will be or all of his credentials will be linked in the description of this stream. Then a couple more real quick. Forge said Dave Filoni is a male feminist. You don't like Ray? Well, too bad. We're gonna put another female and another and another, and you're gonna get another one. So, shout out to Forge in the chat. February also said Temple of Doom is the best one. Don't shoot me. Temple of Doom is like I don't want to say it, but Temple of Doom is the movie out of all three of them in the main trilogy that I kind of like. I don't want to say you sit through it, but there's just certain things that I don't like in Temple of Doom that I'm like, do I really need to sit through this and watch this scene go down? So there's just a few things. Maybe one day we'll like go crazy and delve into Indiana Jones like on a deeper level like that and be a little more be a little more critical about it. But yeah, I'd have to say Last Crusade. That's my favorite. Right on. Forge said Temple of Doom is so cool. Oh, we got some Temple of Doom stands in the building. Right on. So so okay, and I also wanted to ask, Narrowdark, is Star Wars, is it the greatest trilogy ever created?
Hmm. I don't know, because I really love the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
I,
usually
I
a
would say
go-to when people.
I would say they're on par for me. Like they're just as good
Yeah,
as each
yeah.
other.
You know, and it's funny. I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to make Tolkien fans enraged at me. But this is unlimited tirade, so we can have it if we want. Lord of the Rings trilogy, Peter Jackson. There's Tolkien stands of the novels that say he didn't really adapt those truly to what they're supposed to be. So
That's true. Like there's plenty
that
of stuff that was changed and all that, but like as films,
yeah.
just on their own, separate from the source material, I think they're great.
Yeah, they are great films, yes. And I also want to say too, I think it's interesting because Star Wars was one of those things that you looked at it and some of the books were being written while the movies were being created and direct and filmed. And as we all know, like Revenge of the Sith, for example, like Matthew Stover got copies of the entire script, the screenplay for Star Wars Episode 3, and he was sitting down with George in order to articulate and build upon as making the novel more of like a reading companion for the film. And I enjoyed that immensely, of course, as I enjoy a lot of expanded universe novels of films. Excuse me. I was sorry right there. I was reading a text message. But anyway, I just think that Star Wars is one of those things where the books, like they were made hand in hand as the movies were being created, or they dropped the same year the movie also released. So, in I don't want to say, I don't want to bring up the books if we're like putting it neck and neck with the Lord of the Rings movies, because, or if we are going to put them neck and neck with the movies, I don't want to bring the books into the conversation. So if I had to say it, I'd have to say I think Star Wars, the first trilogy of Star Wars, I think it's better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy, in my opinion. And there's other trilogies that people like to put up next to Star Wars. People sometimes want to bring up Matrix, and I don't know why you
Really?
would. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised when
Like
some people have tried
the
to.
first Matrix movie's pretty good. The other two are like
Yeah, no,
they've
yeah. The
got good
first
stuff
Matrix
in
is
them, but like whatever, man.
Yeah,
It
first
doesn't even
Matrix
come
is
close.
it's perfect in my opinion. The first Matrix film is perfect. You don't need a sequel after that. Um, Terminator, Terminator 1 and 2, I don't think there's an argument is because Terminator 3, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But Terminator 1 and 2 are great. Alien 3, I can't do that because Alien
I
3
like
is just
Yeah, it's like those two, like the first two Terminators, the first two Alien movies,
they're
those are
perfect.
really
They're
good. Those
perfect.
are
Like,
really good.
yeah, they're perfect.
Like
First and sequel films.
as
Yes,
duologies, they work
yes,
perfectly and they're really, really good.
yeah,
Especially Terminator.
yeah. So I don't know, man. Like you can put up a lot of things up against Star Wars, and when I say the trilogy, I'm just talking about the original trilogy. We're not even getting into the prequels because I think that if you got into the prequels as a trilogy itself, I would probably have to say I think the Lord of the Rings films are better than the prequel trilogy.
I
So
mean, that I think just one of the main things is the production design of the Lord of the Rings and like all the behind the scenes stuff, and you see all like just the passion. Not that that isn't there in the prequels. It just feels more like a, I don't know. The vibe of it is just way more impressive, I think.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I think I went out for a second. Yeah, I I think the overall package of the films, like alone, when you're like, yeah, like you said, the production and like the care that went into Fellowship, Twin Towers, and Return of the King. It also, honestly, too, like global scale, or like I don't want to say global. That's not the right word. Like just scale of the production, like as far as like the amount of extras. I think George used way less to make the prequel trilogy than Peter Jackson used to make the Lord of the Rings trilogy, for sure.
It would have been interesting to see, like, well, that's the thing. It's like I don't really knock the prequels for having to rely on special effects for certain locations, like the Jedi Temple, for example. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of need, when you're not doing like interiors or like single rooms, you kind of need like a big space, and it needs to be CGI unless you can find some crazy looking building somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah. When it came to like realist or not, I don't want to say realistic, but yeah, like real props and real backgrounds and like background characters and uh I guess you could say like on-screen extras. I think Lord of the Rings had more in that regard because George was working with way more green screen and special effects to create the sci-fi world of
yeah,
Star
like
Wars.
like with the clone troopers, they're all CGI.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, is like low key. I don't know if this is like heresy, but I was thinking about Qui Gon's lightsaber.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of that design at all. I just
I
don't
think
like.
I know you've brought this up before. Yeah, I think I remember you saying this.
There
Yeah.
is. I don't like how the switch is just a big red button on it.
Hmm.
I'm like, no, that does not look right.
Yeah, well, maybe George wanted to implement that Qui-Gon wasn't all the big into like having a flashy hilt. Maybe he was just like, this is simple and this'll do. That'll do.
Why is it red? It's just like bright red. It's like a
It's
bright
red.
red.
It's
It's a
red.
bright. It's a bright red button. I don't like it.
Right. Yeah. Real quick in the chat, I saw you guys. I was putting some of your guys' chats up real quick. February cracked me up with this. He said Toy Story has a solid trilogy.
Yeah,
That
they
it
die in the
does.
end. Yeah.
That it does. Yeah. Shout up. What's up to Scran? Everybody, shout out to Star Wars Scran. He's in the building. What's up, man? Good to see you. Casual Chris is in the building. He said, "Good day." What's up, Casual Chris? Long time no see. Forge said, "Lord of the Rings is a New Zealand film." Period. Yeah they filmed it all up and down New Zealand. Beautiful country. Casual Chris said, "Yeah, Lord of the Rings is better, but it did have source material that was crafted for years." Yeah, and and then source material for Star Wars was worked on while the films were being made. So that's the only difference. But if we had to stand alone the films side by side without mentioning their source material, their books, and what have you, I think the original trilogy just stands a little bit taller, in my opinion. But we can all disagree. We can all disagree. Forge said, "Thank you, Morgoth, for paving the way for Lord Sauron." That I do know about. I do know about Morgoth being like the big bad before Sauron was the apple of anyone's eye. Mike C said, "I love the Qui-Gon saber design personally. I have a toy of it, and it's the best to hold."
Yeah. It looks like a toy.
Yeah, it
That's
it
what I
does look
don't
like
like
a
about it. Cause that's what the red button does. It just makes it look like a prop
yeah.
or a toy. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It needs to look a little sleeker or something. If it was like a silver button, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's like bright red.
Right.
I
No, I
don't
hear.
fuck with that. And it needs to be a switch. What if he just accidentally knocks the button?
Oh, dude, you have to have the force to switch the button. Um, Scran said Qui-Gon's saber hilt is great. There you go, another fan. Chris said, "I just saw Grace Randolph's out of cinema reaction. According to her, Mando is badass and Grogu is useless." Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. That is what's the midnight release for the Mando film tonight, ain't it?
Shit,
So
I didn't even fucking realize it's out.
wait, is
It's gonna
it
be
tonight?
out. Let me check. I want to check
Or
the
is that because
Australian.
she's like an early? Is that because she's like a film critic? So the film critics are getting it like a couple days
Yeah,
early.
the worldwide release is on the 22nd.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's not out quite yet for the general public, but reviews and or reviewers and critics are seeing it right now. Forge said, Qui-Gon is so iconic, he died so Anakin Skywalker could save the galaxy and bring balance to the Force. Yep, that's why in Phantom Menace, the duel is titled Duel of the Fates, because it is the fate of Anakin. So Forge also said, when we getting a Qui-Gon Scran saber? Hey, man, hit up Scran. I don't know nothing about that. Double A said, that unexpected from the dumb, simple blonde shill. How many gaps gonna roast her? Probably a lot. Oddball said, Qui-Gon saber for simple folk. Be a simple kind of Jedi.
And Luke's Return of the Jedi saber is the best.
Yes, it is. It's based off of Obi-Wan's hilt design. Webslinger said, happy birthday to George Lucas. Hail to the maker. Yes, hail to the maker. We are celebrating George Lucas's birthday tonight. Thank you. Forge said, this video is sponsored by Scran Sabers LLC. Hey, man, I was made unaware of this. I don't have my cut. I don't have my check to read the ad for that. Get to it, Scran. Webslinger said, hey, Narrowdark, you ever seen that Berserk meme with Law and Order?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I'll have to look into that.
You have to let us know.
Based on what I know of Berserk and Law and Order, I have a feeling I might know what it's about.
Hell yeah. Scran said, source material that Jackson wasn't 100% faithful to. Yeah, I brought that up. That's why I was trying to make that point, at least. Hold on. And then Forge said, Disney Star Wars Mandalorian is nothing but a nanny. Yep. Oddball said, dun dun. Like the Law and Order. George Lucas was 100% faithful to the source material. Yep, because he was the maker. He was the crafter. Rare case too, where the writer of the novel and the director of the movies is one and the same, or not the writer of the novel, excuse me, but he articulated and laid the floor plans for all of the novels. So, because George Lucas had a hand in the expanded universe, who'd have thunk it? Scran said, I sponsor Unlimited Tirade, but I'm still owed $500 for my appearance on the 50 sub special. Why'd you have to go public about it, bro? Why'd you have to put me out there? Now I got to write you a check. Thank you so much, Scran. And then February said, Theory said he wants to make a ribbed lightsaber. Is that lore accurate? Last I heard, yes, that's the kind of lightsaber that Anakin had when he used it for Padme. All right. So we're still.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Web Slinger. I know both. I know that clip you're talking about from Law and Order.
Took him a minute, Web Slinger, but he caught up.
So in the Law and Order clip, it's like a black guy who's talking to Ice-T, and he's like, "I have relations with women." He's like, "No, it's like I'm not gay. I have relations with women and sex with men." And then Ice-T's like, I hate to break it to you, but genius. That means you're gay.
That makes you gay.
That makes you gay.
Yes, he had a oddball in the chat. He said that makes you gay.
Guts gay for no, it's Griffith gay for wait. Is it wait? They're gay for each other, basically.
Right on. Scran said, love that clip. Yeah, man. So yeah, Star Wars, the greatest ever trilogy ever. We had everybody in the chat kind of giving us feedback. Narrowdark gave his answer. I gave my answer. Other things for George Lucas appreciation, man. You know, also on top of like the groundbreaking property that is Star Wars and what it did for the entire, like, basically the entire business of Hollywood, and George being the innovator of special effects very early on and paving the way for a lot of other big giants to take the tools that he used for their projects and then just build upon that. You can't help but just admire something like that from like a homegrown small town kind of guy that just like had a big vision and he saw it through and to the best of his ability tried to bring us all into the world that was swirling around in his head, that he was just bursting with ideas, you know. And it's one of the most beautiful things that honestly I've ever been able to witness in my lifetime. And for that, you know, I really love George Lucas, man. I'm really happy that he's lived to be 82 years old. I hope that he has many, many more years in front of him. I know that he's getting up there now, but we can only hope that he's taking care of himself and that we have George Lucas around for a very, very long time still.
Jeez, the way he acts, the way he like you wouldn't expect him to be almost like 85 or 80 in his 80s. You know what I mean?
Like, because you think he's like a spry lad or what?
Yeah, he's a spry young buck. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
have you seen Legends of Tomorrow? It's
No,
that DC like CW time travel show.
no. I haven't watched that one. No.
I wouldn't recommend it. Very bad. But there was the Atom, the guy who can shrink. He was played by Brandon Routh, who played Superman in the one with Kevin Spacey, Superman Returns.
Yeah.
And there was another guy, forget what his superhero character was, but he was like a historian, and the Atom was a scientist. And because it's a time travel thing, they ended up rescuing George Lucas in an episode. But it was like,
really?
due to some time travel shenanigans, George Lucas gave up on being a director when he was in college or something. So Star Wars had inspired the Atom to get into science, and Indiana Jones had inspired the other guy to get into history. And because those movies were never made, they never became heroes. So they lost their like abilities. So basically they had to like save George Lucas's life, like save him from dying, but also like inspire him to like want to be a director again so they could be their superheroes.
I would actually watch that episode just for the fuck of it. That sounds fun.
I remember liking it. I don't know if the time travel shenanigans make sense. I don't think it ever made sense in that show, but I remember enjoying that episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have you ever seen that clip of that Gorilla Grodd breaking into Barack Obama's like college? He's like, Barack Obama. No, that's such a famous clip, but that's from Legends of Tomorrow.
No, I've never heard of that. That's funny. Hell yeah. Real quick.
And he says, hold on, he says like, time to make America Grodd again.
Oh God.
It's just fucking terrible, but I love it.
That's how cringe. Forge said, I can't wait for the Mando and Grogu film to flop. You know, man, it hasn't even come out yet, and I think you don't have to wait for it. I think it's already we'll get into that in a moment right now. Mike C said, my grandparents are in their 80s, but you wouldn't know that talking to them. Yeah, you know, there's some elderly folks out there that are quite spry for their age. You wouldn't know that by talking to them. Exactly. Webslinger said, Brandon Routh, underrated Superman. I like the way he looked in the suit, you know, when I watched Superman Forever. Like I liked, or Superman Returns, excuse me. I like the way that he looks in the suit. Looks pretty decent. The hairstyle looked pretty coiffed, you know, looked pretty all right. I just wasn't a fan, you know, of everything else in the movie. Honestly. Webslinger said, what the fuck, never heard about this, gotta check it out now. I honestly would never expect an episode like that to exist, especially during prequel hate. Yeah I'd say that was probably like a thing too, where like obviously everyone knows about the movie that was made, The People versus George Lucas, during the prequel era. And you know, man, there's a lot of people out there that really can't stand the prequels, you know, like prequel haters are out there, and they actually hate George Lucas for what he did, because they think the first three films didn't need anything else, and they didn't need to be expanded upon. They didn't need anything to give us like basically origin stories for certain characters and to show us the road on how Darth Vader became Darth Vader and what have you. So there's a lot of people that are not fans of that. They think that George made mistakes, but in my opinion, man, I don't think George made a mistake. Well, the only mistake that George Lucas ever made was signing that contract when he sold the franchise to Disney back in 2012, and I think that's probably the only mistake that he's made as far as like professionally wise, with career wise.
Yeah, just really quick on Legends of Tomorrow. I put the title and the episode number on there, but season 2, I actually think that the whole season's pretty decent. The Reverse Flash is the main villain, so, and he's like my favorite villain. So I
like Reverse Flash. I do like some Reverse Flash. So fuck yeah, Legends of Tomorrow, Raiders of the Lost Art. I like it. Yeah, thank you, Narrowdark. Real quick, I'm going back up. Real before we transition to the Botham report, is there anything that you wanted to say on about George Lucas? Give him his flowers for anything. I know
Hmm.
we're not talking about him in depth too much because he's not passed away. Knock on wood. So this isn't a reflection on his entire life. It's more just like a happy birthday. Look at all of his achievements. Okay.
Not really. Have you seen that clip of George Lucas where he's just like randomly in the background of like this documentary?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, a lot of people have seen that.
I
Yeah.
fucking love that.
Yeah, that's a nice little cameo that he unintentionally was in. I think even he likes that himself too, if you had to ask him. All right, then right, we're done. We're gonna be done glazing for George Lucas's birthday. Again, happy birthday to the maker. Happy birthday to the king. You know, he dropped no crown. He dropped no crown. He's maintained the crown. He's still the king. Filoni could never. Fuck you talking about. All right, we're going to be getting into the Botham Report, where we talk about some of the new stuff, news and pop culture stuff, events that's been going on. Of course, Narrowdark. You know that the Mando Grogu film, we mentioned it earlier. Of course, it's going to be hitting theaters soon. And have you been paying attention to a lot of like the rollout and the PR for this film lately? Have you been paying attention?
Um,
Obviously, not to cut you off, but real quick. Obviously, we saw like the get go stuff from like the Super Bowl commercial and everything. And I feel like ever since that, it's just kind of gone downhill into a spiral, dude. Like they don't even really know how to market this film. What have you been noticing on your end?
yeah, other than the Super Bowl stuff, I haven't really been paying attention, but I reckon because the story is like from the trailers, it doesn't seem like there's any like real main villain that is like interesting. And without something like that, it's probably hard to market a film that is going to be boring as hell.
Yeah, yeah. I dude, the plot doesn't even matter. No one cares about the plot. The whole thing that they've been selling is like baby Grogu cute, like baby Yoda cute, you know? Like they don't I don't even know what kind of demographic they're like trying to reach for this. They don't want to
Well,
admit that.
it's the normies because I know like my sister who is like a normie and
Yeah.
like she's watched because her boyfriend is a fan of Star Wars, but like all of it. Uh,
I love all the
so
Star Wars.
so they've watched like she loves Mandalorian, she loves
Yeah.
Grogu, and I feel like she's perfectly representative of like a normie viewer. So I wouldn't say there's like a huge demographic. It's not going to make a lot of money, but people are going to go see it. The
Yeah.
normies, anyway. The
I just
normies who care. I feel like because of COVID and all that, like movies have really the idea of going to the cinema. Like I don't want to
really
fucking
took a
go.
tank. Yeah, really
Yeah,
took a
like
dive as far as like an attraction that a lot of people want to go crowd out into and go into spend their hard-earned money on. Yeah. It doesn't help, especially when like cinema tickets. I don't know about your end of the world, but where I'm at over here in the West Coast, like new cinema film tickets are basically around the range of like anywhere between like $12 to $17 a person. And
yeah. Here it's
like
like $20.
yeah, yeah, I know it's a little bit higher for you guys on your side of the pond, but if you have like a family of 3 already, like you're already in like $40 almost, and
Yeah, and
then you got
snacks and
yeah,
gas and all this
and
shit. It's
gas
yeah,
is actually probably a bigger argument to make for all this. If you're going out, like how far is the theater? Do we have to go on the other side of town? Is there traffic? Like big cities. No, if you're in a big city, I don't think you're going to be risking all of your gas money for the weekend and all of your budget for like dinner to go spend it on a shitty movie with snacks that are overpriced in a crowded fucking theater as well. The people
yeah.
on their cell phones and what have you.
Even though like what I just said about my sister, I don't think her or her boyfriend are going to the movies anytime soon.
I don't think there's a lot of normies that are going to be going. They're going to just know that it's going to, or everyone knows it's just going to hit streaming momentarily. So,
Yeah, like maybe a few months at the most after it's in the cinema.
oh, bro, yeah, I don't. We can't even count it down. Like, mark your calendars. We said it right here on what is it? What's today? May 14th. We said it right here. I give it. what? I'm gonna give it 2 months on the dot that they give it in theaters, and then
Yeah,
it goes to streaming.
by the end of like July, it'll probably be on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
yeah, because what the sequel movies, they didn't go into streaming for, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 months until you could stream those. But even still, uh, yeah, I'm just, I don't even know, dude. Like when you bring up streaming numbers, it gets really hairy because they're not honest or very transparent with what those numbers look like. And I don't know how people source those numbers themselves when they're reporting on it. So I can't speak on it because I don't know those ins and outs. But yeah, I just know that streaming is going to be way more of a recipient when it comes to this film in itself. I don't think a lot of people are going to rush to the theater for this. And like I said, going back to the rollout for this film, the commercials and like I think what as far as the footage they've released of this film, they've already shown like what 20 minutes of the movie, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. They've shown
yeah.
off at least 15 minutes of this film already.
Maybe like the first 15 minutes.
I know that there's like
it was
TV
like
spots.
Oh, I thought that there was like an event that Eric Voss went to. And I
Yeah,
think
there was.
Star Wars Explained went, and they got to see like 20 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah, the Disney cocksucking shills, they all got to see fucking 15 minutes or so of the film, and I just don't think there's any substance to this, man. Like we already hate Disney Star Wars, so that in itself is enough for us to write all of this off. But when it comes to like the story that they're trying to build with this movie, I don't know where it's going. I don't know where this sits on the timeline as far as the Mandalorian TV show. So
Definitely after season 3,
so it is like following the timeline of the show to where
for
it's
sure.
happening right after.
Like this is totally, despite what Jon Favreau might say, like this was totally meant to be season 4. And then they were like, let's put it in the movies. And then they decided, let's also do a season 4 anyway and do like a new story or whatever. But like at the end of season 3, they basically reset the whole story. So he's back on like that original planet he was on in the first episode with Carl Weathers.
Okay. Yeah.
And now he's like, I guess either a bounty hunter for the New Republic or he's actually like a ranger of the New Republic or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't
Like,
make sense, dude. And they're mixing in like things from Clone Wars with the whole like the huts that hut that they're referring to. Isn't that the baby hut from the Clone Wars, like all grown up, like
there's
Jabba's
also
son or whatever his name is?
Yeah, those fuck. What's his name?
I don't care enough to know.
Fucking
You know what I
some
mean? Like I don't
bullshit.
care enough to know names.
There's
and
also
shit like
those
that.
2 huts from Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, the twins or whatever.
Yeah. Like I hate being like this, but like where are the Jedi? Like why aren't we just doing Jedi shit? Like you got Ezra Bridger. I don't like that character, but I think more people would rather see him.
They don't know what to do with their Jedis, bro. They don't know what to do with them.
Also, it's like
all of their Force users are caught up doing something else.
They have to set up. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some Project Necromancer stuff in this. With like the whole
with bringing back Palpatine and everything.
Yeah, because that was really introduced in Mandalorian season 3.
Oh yeah, let's give you guys some backup material to emphasize our plot for our 6-year-old fucking movie. I don't want to hear it.
If they're gonna keep making projects set prior to the sequels, I feel like that's always going to be something that they will consider doing.
They're going to just keep having to fucking retcon stuff and explain themselves for everything that they make going forward.
And they're going to have to explain the First Order at some point.
Because
it's like they're meant to be like
don't you just love how much that they wrote themselves into a box with this? Like they don't even know how to explain the Knights of Ren and the whole concept with Kylo Ren being their leader, but they turn on him on a dime and they work for Palpatine and Rise of Skywalker.
That's weird.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that at all.
in the comics, they follow a Darksider called Ren, and then
Yeah.
Kylo beats him, and then takes over the Knights of Ren.
But Kylo's not a Sith Lord.
But prior to, well, neither is Ren. He
And
refers to the
neither
dark
is
side.
Snoke.
He refers to the dark side as like the shadow.
Yeah.
So he's like a Darksider, whatever, who cares? But like prior to the first The Force Awakens, Snoke basically tells Kylo, like, get rid of these guys. So they chase them off and they're like alone. But prior to Rise of Skywalker, he takes them back under his like control.
Oh, it's so fucking
But
that's so
for
stupid.
some reason they're loyal to Sidious. I don't think that's ever explained.
It
So
never,
it's like it doesn't make any sense.
it never would be. They don't explain anything that they've come up with for their movies. And any books that they've written, they've retconned stuff in the movies with the books. Yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck those movies and fuck this and
Yeah, for sure. It
Starfighter,
is
like,
fuck it all. Oh, don't get me started on Starfighter. Come on.
I reckon that'll just solely being separated from all this recent Star Wars bullshit and having Ryan Gosling in it. That's probably going to do better than Mando and Grogu, at least better.
It might. It's already gearing towards. They're already hoping that this movie just goes under the table and they forget it. They want to sweep with this movie and just like say, no, yeah, you know, we just wanted that to get that out for the Mando fans, the Mando and Grogu fans.
Yeah,
they deserve this movie. But like we're Starfighter though, that's the real blockbuster. Get ready for Starfighter.
I feel like they
consume product and be excited for next product. You fucking sheep.
Bob Chapek, who was the one who like came up with the idea of Disney Plus. One of the
Bob Iger, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it was Bob Iger, but he's the reason so many like projects were made into shows that were originally meant to be movies, because he was trying to get this like streaming service off the ground or whatever. And it's like that really fucked the brand.
Yeah, really did. Yeah. But they had all that back catalog of stuff that they wanted to make money off of, man. It was just burning a hole in their pockets. So I think that was also Star Wars was like the perfect segue and the perfect icebreaker to introduce this streaming platform. That was what they led with. Because didn't they lead with Mandalorian?
Yeah,
Mandalorian was like a debut thing for when the Disney Plus first came about.
Yeah, I think it was Mandalorian and then WandaVision as well.
Yeah. Marvel and Star Wars were the battering ram to get
I would have just
people's homes.
I would have just created a bunch of original like animated programs. It would have been way cheaper and way more lucrative, I think.
Right. Yeah. They probably should have, but
instead of wasting like fucking 300 million on a pile of shit show that no one cares about.
Real quick, I'm gonna catch up on chat because we had some guys going off right now. Webslinger said Eobard, it was me, Barry. Thrawn is one of the coolest villains. It was me, Barry. I pulled your pants down. Scran said,
I jerked you off.
I jerked. There you go. That's what I was looking for. It was me, Barry. I jerked you off.
Really quick before we move on, have you seen that animated it's Suicide Squad Hell to Pay?
Hell to Pay? No. You know what's funny? I have the Blu-ray sitting on my shelf because I bought it when I went to Target one day, but I haven't watched it.
It's basically like if you watch Flashpoint and then watch that, that's a good like because it ties into Flashpoint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Eobard Thawne is the main antagonist.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that the one where he like pulls his mask off and you see the hole in his head?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen the clip of that, but I never watched the movie. Okay, so thank you for reminding me. I have to watch that.
He's basically trying to find a way to survive Thomas Wayne shooting him in the head.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I need to look that up. Scran said prequel hate is something normies do to act like they're real fans, but they heard anti-prequel rhetoric from losers who only like A New Hope and Empire. Well, you know, I will say this, man. There's a lot of people that say they're on our side, and they're real hardcore prequel haters. You know, they love the EU, they love the original trilogy and EU books and what have you, but when it comes to Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, you know, Phantom Menace is like the bane of their existence. So,
Good movie. It's a good
yeah,
fucking movie, guys.
great
And
fucking movie. It's a
Attack
great,
of the
great.
Clones. It's so underrated. I think the more I think about it, the more
As
I
much
like
as
it.
prequel haters want to cry about it, like that's George's vision come to life. George made that, and I'm not. Who am I to go against what the maker has brought before us? Speaking of the maker, Captain Ninja said, "Thank the maker." What's up, Captain Ninja? Good to see you. Oddball said, "Botham Report." Nice. Yeah. That's gonna be the name of our like pop culture news segment.
Many Bothans died to bring you this report.
Exactly. We're gonna have a clip with Mon Mothma and everything. Don't worry, it's coming. Forge said Shield Trooper has been talking about the Grogu and Mando movie. Don't get me started on that fucking dude guy. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, dude. Mike said, in my normie life, I have not met or overheard one person talking about this movie. Neither have I. Neither have
Yeah.
I.
Like, I
And
think
I'm
the only
around a
reason
lot of.
my
Go ahead.
normie
Sorry.
sister knows about it is because her boyfriend likes Star Wars.
Yeah. One of my jobs on the week.
If he didn't, then like no one I know would give a shit about it.
Right. Yeah, probably right. One of the jobs that I have, like my weekend job that I was working before I got hurt for recently, I worked at a place that had a lot of like college aged folks like coming in and out, like a lot of younger people. And I would strike up some combos and stuff if we end up talking about like music or movies or what have you, like nerd stuff. And you know, Star Wars gets brought up, and a lot of these motherfuckers, they don't care about Star Wars, dude. They don't care about it. They're like, oh, like they look at Star Wars like how I would look at somebody from like the 70s, 80s, and their high life was like Star Trek. You know what I mean? Like Star Trek was like an old people's sci-fi thing. And when I was
that
younger,
fucking sucks.
yeah, like when I was younger,
I've always known like younger, like Gen Alpha and like young Gen Z. They don't really give a shit about Star Wars.
yeah, they don't. My nephew is gonna be turning 3 years old, and I want to like introduce him to Star Wars. But my niece was actually the one that gravitated to Star Wars, believe it or not. She was the one. She's a year and a half, 2 years older than him, and she's the one that got infatuated with like R2D2 and C3PO. Those are like her fucking favorite characters. When she sees 3PO and R2 on the screen, she loves it. She loses her mind. I'm gonna get her or I'm gonna give her actually my my C3PO and 3-2 or my R2D2 and C3PO action figures for Christmas this year. Mike C said, I haven't been to the theater since The Last Jedi. Oof. And I know that wasn't a great note to end off, was it?
That was the last Star Wars movie I saw in the cinema.
The last straw.
Yeah.
In my opinion. What's up, Mike C? Forge said The Last Jedi made me very annoyed. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Scran said 2 months equals 2 million. It's gonna make it more than 2 million, Scran, but it's not gonna be like what's the budget? Look that up for me, Narrowdark. What's the budget for Mandalorian if it's recorded at all, if anything?
Yeah, quickly. My guess is like it's gonna make around 300 million.
Yeah, probably.
The budget is 166 million. So it's going to have to make over 300 million to make a profit.
Yeah, let that number inflate a little bit after release, because we're going to get some more reports of that number going up a little bit. I guarantee it. Webslinger said, have you heard about some rumors how they're going to retcon the sequel trilogy? That's not happening, dude. Like Forge was saying right here, that rumor, it's been around for a while. The sequel trilogy, they're not just going to sweep all of that.
Dave Filoni loves the sequels, and he
loves Rey. He loves Rey.
He would not be the CEO if he didn't support Disney Star Wars in what it is, you know. So it's wishful thinking, and it's a huge cope.
Yeah, that is
like, they're going to wreck on it. Dave Filoni's going to save us. Like,
yeah,
that's why I bring up like the Project Necromancer stuff. Anything set before the sequels could have ties to that in it.
I'm just saying, bro, like
in the fucking Jedi Fallen Order,
dude, like Bad Batch, the more recent season of Bad Batch that Filoni was in charge of, he put in that stuff in his show. He put that in Bad Batch. The operation, like whatever Narrowdark just said.
Project Necromancer, but
Project
they
Necromancer.
have
Yeah.
it in season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Okay. Well, see, yeah, there you go. Like
The
the
whole
whole
reason the
reason.
Empire wanted Grogu is to get his
Yeah.
DNA for that.
Exactly. So right now, like they've put it into so many things aside from the main sequel title films that they're never gonna get rid of it. Because then if they did, they're just gonna look so stupid, and they might as well hit reset on everything.
I'll
They're
be right
gonna
back.
Go ahead. I got it. They're eventually, like, it's been thrown around too. A lot of people speculate that they're eventually just gonna redo the original trilogy. They're gonna redo 1977 Star Wars. They're gonna recast it all. You know what? I hope they don't recast it. I hope they fucking CGI and deepfake every fucking old person from that film, and then they have to just deal with that mess in itself. Forge said, "Rot of the Hut, throw up face." The incest Hut twins. Oddball said, "Season 4, basically. Who cares, though?" Yep, exactly. Mike C said, "Another thing about theaters that keeps people away is the fear of germs and teenagers acting like chimpanzees, like what happened with the Minecraft movie. Oh, yeah. Chicken jockey. Pah! And everyone just loses their mind." Captain Ninja said, "Somehow Palpatine return. Somehow Narrowdark will return." Oddball said, "We are all the Sith." Such a stupid line. And I am all the Jedi. Scran said, "Kylo Rent boy." That's funny. It's pretty good. Forge said, "The power of one, the power of two, the power of many, the power of many." Sequel retcons. Soul Assassin's in the building. What's up, Vato? Good to see you. Somehow the half breed reached 150 subs. Good job. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to Soul Assassin, guys. Soul, I gotta make you a mod on the channel, dude. You can't be modding everyone else's chat and not have you modding mine. What's up with that, man? Forge said, Ahsoka season 2 has been delayed. I heard it's coming out next year. So where are these delay reports coming from? Because everything that I saw in the news cycle from what I've been looking at all day today was that, like, they're announcing it's coming out next year. So was it supposed to drop this year or later this year? Is that the thing that I don't know about? I don't follow Disney Star Wars to a T, guys, so I wouldn't know. Mike C said the Disney apologist is really excited for Starfighter. There's a lot of Disney shills that are excited for that crap, dude. Soul said they should have just stuck with the Disney Vault. Shit kept them going for years. Yep, they could have just streamed all the old stuff, but how are you going to make money on the new stuff still if you don't put it on a streaming platform? Webslinger said Disney Plus ruins Star Wars and Marvel, probably ruins streaming and TV shows, which feels like 5-hour movies. I will definitely say that the format by which they did a lot of their Marvel shows feels like they could have condensed that stuff into making them into just fucking flat out like short films or standalone films, honestly. I will say, like, I didn't watch a lot of the Marvel shows at all, but I did watch Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. That show in itself, that could have been just cut up better into that could have been a movie. Like that, and that it could have been a decent movie too, but the whole like flag smashers angle and everything, and then making Sam or making Falcon deal with like racial stuff and everything, like they took you out of it. They made it real world. It didn't feel like fantasy or made up stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't feel like fiction. It felt like real world crap just thrown into everything. So it took me out of it. I didn't enjoy it. Scran said the only way Starfighter would be good is Ryan Gosling reprised his role of the movie Drive and stomped every Disney character's heads to some synth music. That would be cool. Yeah, I'd watch that. Puts their teeth on a curb. Now say goodnight. That's the wrong movie, ain't it, guys? Forge said, "Who's the Disney apologist? Is that Star Wars Theory?" I don't know. When we're talking about anybody that's Disney lovers or that are shills, we would just group them all up together, don't we? Mike C said they claim to hate the prequels, but we're happy to give Disney their money to watch Revenge of the Sith in theaters last year. Yep. There was a lot of people that just couldn't wait to go see the Star Wars films back on the big screen when you have more than I would like to say 9 out of 10 of us here in this chat. There's about 10 or 11 people in chat. I'd say about like at least 9 or almost every single one of you guys have the Star Wars movies on copies on your shelf at your homes. Like, you guys have DVDs, you have Blu-rays, of all this shit. Like, you guys are super fans. I know the crowd here. I know you guys aren't novices, so everybody here has no reason why they should be going to rewatch these Star Wars films and giving Disney their money in the theaters again. No one should be doing that. Soul Assassin said, got hurt, got to lay off the luchador life. Nacho. Nacho! I know. Forge said, Disney Star Wars is Twilight vampire romance novel. Coded, it's so cringe. That's a good take. Yeah. I feel like that when I watch some of the stuff. Definitely when I watch some of the Book of Boba Fett stuff. That shit is just so lame, dude. February said, no one wants to get into franchise with 12 movies and 6 dog shit Disney Plus shows. Yeah. Who does? Not I. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on chat. You guys are all going crazy right now. Appreciate it. I never told anyone in real life that I only consider the first 6 movies in the EU canon. Well, hey, man, this is real life, and you told me, so good on you, mate. Good on you, lad. Captain Ninja, oh, he's talking to the web slinger. Forge said, I used to be a Filoni faithful. Trust me, he's not going to save Star Wars because there is nothing to save. Yep, it'd be like trying to parade around a dead corpse at this time, puppeteering a cadaver. Casual Chris said, Film Threat made an out-of-theater reaction of the Mando movie and said what you expect the movie would be. Yeah, well, Film Threat, that's Chris Gore and them, right? Yeah. I don't put too much merit into, like, what some of the, like, professional film critics have to say, because a lot of those guys are kind of like, they're not like as Star Wars heavy fans as like a lot of us are. And when I say Star Wars heavy, I mean like they like some of the Disney stuff. They like the early seasons of Mandalorian and they like Andor, you know what I mean? Even though like I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody here that we're not fans of Andor or Mandalorian or any of that in regards. So I think that when it comes to like the opinions of professional critics, that they are very not biased when it comes to, or they are biased when it comes to it. Fuck me, I can't fucking get my words out right now. They're unbiased because they are fans of certain Disney lore and Disney canon stuff that has been produced, so they compare it to all the rest of it, and they're like, well, you made these good shows, why can't you follow up with this? It's because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, not enough stories have cohesion, and nothing makes sense. So welcome back. I heard you come in, Narrowdark. Yes. Chris said Grogu was off by himself at one time. That sounds like AIDS. That's pretty funny. Forge said the sad thing is Ahsoka Tano has more character development in the expanded universe than anything Disney Star Wars, but here we are in the current year. You know, regardless of the treatment of what Ahsoka's like path has been from like Clone Wars to now, I think it's not crazy to say that Ahsoka was definitely better in the Clone Wars show than whatever we're getting of her in the Boba Fett episode, and then in the Mandalorian show and the Ahsoka show and the Rebels.
It is
cartoon.
Just like it is a complete misunderstanding of what being a Jedi is.
Yeah,
like people. This is something I've heard people criticize the OT for. When Luke becomes a Jedi in episode 6, they think he's like emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point is like being able to like put your emotions aside to do your duty as a Jedi. But the way it's portrayed in Disney, like Ahsoka is such a boring, flat character, and she's not allowed to have any emotions, even though she's Jedi. I feel bad
for the I feel bad for the actor that has to play her in live action. Was it Rosario Dawson? Is that her name? Yeah, like she doesn't get to really act. She just recites her lines and then kind of like runs through the several choreography.
If you only ever see her in Ahsoka, you'd probably think she's a terrible actress,
right?
But she's really good in Daredevil.
Who does she play in Daredevil?
In the Netflix series, she plays Claire Temple, I think her name is, the night nurse.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Star Wars Forge said, I have the films on DVD. That's all I need. 126E. Yep, exactly. And then Scran said, fake fans say the EU has too much content and it's a mess. Well, look at Disney Star Wars. Yeah, you know, and they've, you know, I feel bad for all the resources that have went to printing their novels and comics of all these things that these stories that they wanted to tell for their canon, when it just gets swiped away and retconned by Dave Filoni and other hands that are in the kitchen of Disney Star Wars. So I feel bad for the wasted materials and resources to print all that stuff out when it just doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Scran said that everyone hit the like button. Yep, everyone hit the like button. Appreciate it. Shout out to Scran. I have hit the like button. Yay. Thank you, Forge. Sweet Web Slinger said Chris Score is like one of them OT purist prequel haters. Claims to be a big fan of Star Wars, but only likes 2 movies. Yeah, and you know what, dude? I don't understand if you're gonna say that you're like an original trilogy stan, like, and then you don't mention Return of the Jedi because Ewoks. I'm looking at you like okay.
That. Return of the Jedi is the best one.
Yeah,
it's probably the best movie ever fucking made, and I'll die on that hill.
Return of the Jedi is very
anyone
good.
who doesn't like Return of the Jedi. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chris Gore. More like Chris fucking bitch. Am I right?
That was a 5-year-old response if I ever heard one, but I'm with it. I agree with you. Yeah, Return of the Jedi is just, it's too good. Return of the Jedi is too good, and as a whole it just sums up and ties up the entire like 6-part film just gloriously. Yeah, so if you're not standing Return of the Jedi, what are you doing? Chris said Luke had a personality after the Han mission. Did they watch the film? I don't think so. And then Forge said Luke Skywalker becoming a Jedi is the best in George Lucas Star Wars. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I Luke Skywalker, Jedi Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker is pretty amazing. Yeah. I love everything in Heir to the Empire, like, and even like some of the other novels that are like portraying like right after what happens on the explosion of Death Star 2, and they all link up, like the rebels link up after the great battle and everything, and Vader's dead and Palpatine's been destroyed. And I just love a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the decisions and the way that they carried Luke Skywalker after that. Like, fuck, dude, even in the games, like in the LucasArts games, when you're coming across Luke Skywalker as like Kyle Katarn here, you know what I mean? If you're coming across Luke Skywalker in Jedi Knight or Jedi Outcast in Academy, like Luke Skywalker is portrayed in those games very nicely as well. Shout out to Rogue Squadron Rebel Strike too. That game when you when you played as Luke Skywalker or were interacting with Luke Skywalker's character, it was just all on par. Everything made sense. Mike C said, what I would have done with Ahsoka and TCW is have the finale with Operation Nightfall and Anakin fighting and killing her in the temple as a major test in his dark side journey. That would have actually been a choice to make. That would have been a choice. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a better choice, but
Lucas wanted her to die during Order 66. So I think like it would have been more tragic if this apprentice of his has to fight him, and like if she saw him as Anakin as Darth Vader instead of like after he's burnt. I think that would have been more effective.
I think personally, dude, like for it to make more sense with the way that the movies are, like if you really want to make Ahsoka a canon thing, like an actual canon thing in the story, I think you kill off Ahsoka during the Clone Wars.
You know what? That probably would have been better for his character.
Yeah, you kill her off in the Clone Wars, and that's a big jumping point for him as far as like what's happening to him in his head and the way where he's sitting with the whole Jedi, the Jedi Order and everything, and their place in the war, and finding out what's going on other worlds, and then either he witnesses her death on a mission, like in a battle, or he finds out she died and he wasn't with her to protect her or something. Like, come on, dude. Like,
or you could do
you have the
like,
tools here. Just make some fucking stories, man.
Where like he could have saved her if he was maybe more powerful or something similar to how.
And then that could have linked up with him not being more powerful enough to save Padme, because he felt the same way when he wasn't powerful enough to save his mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you know,
you tie it all together Yeah, if only Filoni didn't want to keep his precious Ahsoka alive and maybe actually
Yep.
cared about Anakin's character instead of using him to prop up Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Chris said Ewoks are ass. Sorry, no, none taken. But the movie is mostly good to great from what I remember. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Return of the Jedi is
Yeah,
amazing.
like all the stuff with the Ewoks, I'm like, I could have done without, but it doesn't stop
Yeah,
the movie from being
like
fucking
I get
awesome.
it. I get it. Why there's detractors for it, and you
It's the
know,
same thing with like Jar Jar Binks in Phantom Menace. Like, yeah, I could watch that movie with or without him. I'd
I
prefer
mean,
maybe if he wasn't in it,
can we
but
just say
still
it?
a
Like
great
the
film.
I'll say it. I'll say what everyone wants to say. The Gungans as a whole, they're just an annoying race of of people in the
I think
movie.
if they didn't if they were more stoic,
Instead of like funny, just like they're just funny people. Like look at them go. Like they're just swimming
or
around with
if
their big ears and making and talking like Misa Misa, you know?
yeah, like the way they talk, I think really that the way they speak and the way they act coupled
Yeah.
together is like kind of fucking annoying.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's such a weird contrast where you have like Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor, and then there's like
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks there. Like, what the fuck is happening?
It would have been great if Liam Neeson didn't like mask his accent. You know, like kind of like how Sean Connery didn't really like cover up his accent in a lot of the roles that he played. It would have been funny if Liam Neeson like kept his accent through that movie, and you're just like, okay, like you know, he's from where is Liam Neeson from? Isn't he? Is he? I don't want to blaspheme, but isn't he
I think
Scottish or is he
he's,
Brit? Or is
he's Scottish.
He's Scottish, right? Yeah. So like, it would have
Yeah.
been funny if he just kept his Scottish accent, and then Scran would have been able to interpret the whole movie for us and
Oh, he's
subtitle or
Irish.
something.
Fuck.
Oh fuck, Scran's. Oh, I'm not gonna hear. I'm not gonna hear the end of it now from Scran.
Oh,
He's gonna
that
be like,
makes him better. That makes him superior because no offense to Scram, but I'm going Irish over Scottish all
Irish
day.
is the more superior race, guys. You heard it here first from
Well,
Narrowdark's mouth.
I think
Just stop while you're ahead, mate.
I have a little more in common with the history. We both
Uh,
hate Britain.
yeah, I think a lot of people over there the UK, or sorry, hate England. Let me catch up with chat a little bit before we get on a tirade about race. Casual Chris said Luke is amazing in New Jedi Order. He is amazing. Luke Skywalker is an amazing father to Ben Skywalker. Ben, yes, he is. February said Dave has to admit has admitted that he wanted Ahsoka to die in Clone Wars. Yeah, George did. Yeah. Leia, Organa, Solo, and Hannah are beautiful husband and wife. They are. They are. We got George. Yeah, Forge is in love with all the characters tonight. Webslinger said EU Luke Skywalker is peak. Yeah, he's pretty deadly. He's pretty dangerous, man. February also said George wanted Ahsoka to die in Clone Wars, confirmed by Filoni. Yeah, yeah. It's no secret that George is the Ahsoka dies camp, and I'm in the Ahsoka lives camp. You know. Casual Chris said, "I get the point, but they should have made them like wildlings or Wookiees. Yeah, like a tougher race, like something a little more with backbone. You know." Forge said, "Jar Jar Binks hate should be a hate crime. Darth Jar Jar is canon because Lucas said he was the key to all of this. That was behind the scenes. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, he's Irish. Yes." Scran said, "Piss off." Hey, bro, I was gonna say if it all was in Scottish accent, you could have just been our interpreter for Phantom Menace. Forge said Darth Plagueis, Master Darth Jar Jar confirmed. No, that would be Tenebrous. Mike C said I'm both Scotch Irish. Oh, well, ain't you? You little Mick Scott, you little Mick Scott mix. Scran is a Highlander. See ya at the quickening, dude. Nice. And then Webslinger said Gungans are the one race that can be funny and cool. Jar Jar did nothing wrong. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I like
You
the
Gungans
idea
fan.
of there being this like underwater native species to Naboo,
Yeah.
and then the surface is ruled by like the human population. I like that idea. It's
You
just
know, I don't want to say it, but we probably could have got a better like aquatic race, like Kit Fisto's people. I know they have the different planet; they're on a different planet and everything. But Kit Fisto's race of like his squid head aliens. I don't know what you call his race off the top of my head, but Kit Fisto's race is pretty cool. I like seeing that sequence where they're like underwater with the lightsabers in Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. Really cool stuff.
Nautilons.
Nar. February said Ewoks should have been Wookiees to tie into the holiday special. I know. They should have been Wookiees. Everyone says it. New Zealanders and Aussies have a heated rivalry, but it's all love. Yeah, Forges is from New Zealand, actually. Yeah. I love how in the George R. Binks comic, Jar Jar is the only one who talks that way. It's like a Boomhauer thing. You know, like King of the Hill, Boomhauer thinks that he talks normal in his head when he thinks everyone else talks like that. It's like one of those things, huh? King of the Hill stands. They know what I'm talking. They know what I'm saying. But yeah, anyway, staying back on topic, reeling us in. The Mando movie, it's going to be coming out soon, and it's going to be quite the show. I saw it from like the first rip of the Super Bowl commercial. Everyone was ripping on it. I had a nice little fun jab at it when I said, "Oh, this Budweiser commercial sucks." That's because it was supposed to probably be like that, like an old Budweiser commercial. I think that's what they were going for, but it didn't really land. It didn't really land how they wanted it to. And I don't think this movie's going to land how they expect. The Disney shills are, of course, in full force, full effect for this one, coping really hard, saying that this movie is going to be the best. Peak Fire is so back. We are so back. And, you know, they just got done saying that about Maul Shadow Lord, and that just wrapped up. And now they get all burnt out from that because they had to make their content talking great about that project. And now they're just sitting around waiting for the next thing to shill and ooze and jerk off of. So, yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu, I don't think it's going to be anything to talk about. We all know what it's going to probably look like once it does drop. So we'll just we'll wait and see, won't we? Another little chat catch up real quick. Chris said New Zealand is wank. I've never been there, but Australia on top. There you go. You get some friendly or not friendly New Zealand versus Aussie stuff going on in the chat. Soul Assassin said King of the Hill is Texas anime. It is, dude. It is, dude. God damn it, Bobby. propane accessories. Webslinger said, right, it'd be nice to see Itchy kicking ass. Yep. Mike C said, dang old Megalomart, man. Okay. We got some cultured men in the chat. Liam is Irish, but Ewan is Scottish. That's right. Obi-Wan is canonically Scottish. Fake fans. Oh yeah, I know. That's why you gravitate so much to Obi-Wan Kenobi, because you're our Obi-Wan Kenobi, Scran. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. Soul Assassin said, only Disney can make 2026 stop motion effects look worse than Empire's Tauntaun effects. Yeah, that is true. Dude, one thing that I haven't shut up about is the fact that such a downgrade in lightsaber fighting for Disney Plus shows. And I don't care what anyone says, that fight that they tried to like stand and fucking goon over, that is the duel in the Acolyte show with Chimere or whatever his name is. I believe that's his name. The dude that had the helmet and stuff and the gauntlets and helmet that was made out of the material that couldn't be destroyed by lightsabers. And that duel, like, it's so hodgepodge filmed that there's like haziness. It's behind like rubbish and trees and branches, and the full-on like strikes that you see on film when there's nothing in the way and it's full focus, there's nothing really to scoff at, dude. Like, yeah, he like kills Jedis. He kills Jedi, the members of the Jedi and the Padawans and so have you. Like, he kills them pretty quickly and it looks brutal, but it's not really anything to go crazy about. Like, the choreography is not there. And the sequel, but I can even say that sequence looks better than anything that they filmed in the sequel main title films. For sure. That looks better than any of those. but still, I digress. Like all the choreography for anything that they've done Disney Star Wars wise is just so ass. I mean, come on, dude. Like even the blaster fights or the gun fights with people that are using blasters, like everyone clowns in the Book of Boba Fett when that one dude that rides the color speeder bike gang guy that does the little flip or turnaround or spin. He like does the little spin into a crouch before he shoots somebody. Like, what's that? What was that for?
I was thinking about that the other day, actually.
Yeah. Huge copium from Disney shill. Texas anime. It's funny, right, Scran? Forge said, I want your guys' opinion on something. Marvel Star Wars Purist says Kreia. Darth Treya is fucking fence rider. Is she? Because I'm pro Darth Treya. She's our Sith Lord granny.
I don't know who
So
the fuck that is. Sorry.
Treya?
Yeah.
That's from KOTOR 2, the video game.
Right. Oh, fucking hell, yeah. I thought they were talking about an actual person.
Fake fan in the chat. Fake fan in the chat. Everyone say Narrowdark fake fan. Or give a F to Narrowdark in the chat for a fake fan.
Fence rider in what context though? Like
because the fact that
Jedi?
because that she just wanted to no, there's no spoilers because it's been out for fucking years, right? But Kreia or Treya, she wants to destroy the Force because it's the cause of all the struggles in the galaxy. She thinks that no matter what, who wins in the end, the Force is always pulling the dark side and the light like to each other for constant conflict, and she just wants to she wants to get rid of it all and like destroy the Force as a whole to stop conflict from happening. And she thinks like she thinks her mission is like the righteous one, but even so, in destroying the Force, she also realizes that herself too has to die in the process. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword when talking about her, you know what I mean? But she's way more in depth as a character than just this surface level explanation that I'm trying to give off right now. Like Kreia, she hates the Force, but she uses it, and she's like a fucking like black belt master when it comes to using the dark side. Like Darth Treya in itself, like she's terrifying. As a Sith Lord, she's terrifying. One Tarnation. Scran said, I love propane and propane accessories. So do I, dude. I like smoking meat. You got any pellet smokers in the chat? Soul Assassin said, that ain't no helmet. That was a GIMP mask. Nice. Forge said, cortosis. Yeah, the material that the helmet and gauntlet was made out of. Forge said, I think I spelled it wrong. No worries. Scran never saw himself until Obi-Wan Kenobi. He never saw himself in a Star Wars film until he saw Obi-Wan Kenobi. Narrowdark, complete the list of inventions between Scotland and Ireland and rethink your decisions on the superior people. Fair enough. Casual Chris. There we go. Fake fan. Thank you very much, Casual Chris. At least somebody in the chat listens to me. Soul Assassin, typical women shit. Narrowdark. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. Forge said Kreia hates the Force. Yep, she does. Kreia is wise like Darth Plagueis. She's very wise, but she also has a very fool's errand of a mission at the end of the day. But yeah, was there anything else? I know that Maul Shadow Lord just wrapped up. Did you watch that show in its entirety yourself? I know you covered it when it first came out, but did you finish it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So did you are you cooking up a review for it for the channel? Or?
Probably not, honestly.
No, doesn't tickle your fancy.
Like, it's kind of boring. Not exciting enough to talk about, honestly. And like, there were some like good fight scenes, but the two Inquisitors that Maul fights and struggles against were like instantly killed by Ahsoka. Both of them. And Maul also lost to Ahsoka. So it's just like fucking lame. Like the version of Maul in that show is so fucking lame. Such a loser.
That's why everybody's been throwing around Jab Lord, Soy Lord, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. The thumbnails of him like being a crybaby is something that I've noticed in, because I had to look that up myself, and Maul actually does cry in the show, which I thought was that was a choice. I was thinking
like Maul from the Phantom Menace would absolutely destroy the two Inquisitors in that show, and he would
Oh yeah,
destroy Ahsoka as well.
he'd fucking body everybody in the room, dude. I think Maul from the Phantom Menace would even. I don't want to sound blasphemous, but I think he would actually probably give Vader a run for his money too. I'm not saying he'd beat him, but I'm saying he would definitely give Vader a problem. That's just me
Yeah,
though.
he basically stood zero chance against him in the show.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the clip, dude, and the way, man, just again choreography when it comes to the way they put Vader. Also, too, like they already. Hold on. Let me collect my thoughts for a moment. They already put Maul in another show of his own making, and they still had to put Vader in a Maul show to try and draw viewers and to create a buzz. Like they had to still do something like that. Isn't that quite interesting to you?
Yeah, it's just so desperate.
It's very desperate antics, and I don't think that they already knew that it was a lost cause with going with Maul for a standalone show. Season 2 has been greenlit for this show, by the way. I can't wait for them to tell us more about what he's not going to accomplish for his future.
Yeah, like his story is like he tries to build up this crime syndicate, then he gets defeated by Sidious, and now in this he tries to build up a crime syndicate, and then we know he's going to get killed by Obi-Wan. But
gets
before
fucking
that, he's
smacked
gonna,
by Vader.
like in Rebels, he's already lost his syndicate, and he loses to Kanan, who is blind, like immediately.
And
Like,
then he dies an old man in the Dune Sea
yeah, and
in
then
Rebels.
he gets killed by Obi-Wan immediately. Like he's constantly taking L's. Like, how does anyone think this character in Disney is like cool?
Like
He's fucking
they
lame.
brought Maul back just to fucking just to fucking make him suffer in front of everyone. Suffer, Maul, suffer, bitch. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The whole like YouTuber drama is still fresh in my head. So anytime I hear the word suffer, I have to say it like those guys. Um, but they just want Darth Maul just to be a pathetic little pinata for them to constantly beat on. Darth Maul has lost all of his like aura. He lost all of his aura from Phantom Menace. In Phantom Menace, he was the mysterious Phantom Menace, the Sith Lord, or the quote unquote Sith Lord that nobody knew anything about, and then he gets bodied by Obi-Wan at the end, and there's more questions than answers, and that was a good thing. George left it open like that. And if you guys really want to know the true story of Darth Maul and some of his origin tale, you guys should go read the novel Shadowhunter. I'll link it in the description or in the chat after this is up for the replay. But Star Wars Scran, friend of the channel and mod in the chat right now, Star Wars Scran did a great read through of the book. And if you guys want to go have a nice like stream series to watch where Scran is reading the chapters to you with some commentary and discussion from his own live chat, go check that out. I would rather you guys invest time in something like that rather than going and giving Disney your fucking money and or views. And for fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. If there's any, is there anything else? I don't want to talk about Starfighter because that's still a ways away, and I don't even care about that movie in general. I think that's just something else. Like I said, that's more of like an actor draw than anything. The plot doesn't even sound like, or I don't even know anything about the plot for that movie. I just know that
Basically, it's a guy who's
Ryan Gosling.
it's a guy who has to protect a kid.
Yeah.
So everything that Star Wars has become.
Yeah. Who cares? I don't care. Let me go back up. Chris said, I don't think she's a fool for her goals. Oh, Treya. Well, I like I said, fool's errand. I meant so much like to want to destroy and to kill the Force. It's like you could argue that her going up against the Exile, because the Exile was the wound in the Force, and she wanted to close it up, and then the whole thing with Malachor 5. Like it's a lot going on, bro. And I just think that she was in over her head to try and want to destroy the Force when the Force has a will of its own. Like she can't You can't you can't bend the Force to your will, and that's the downfall of the Sith and the dark side. They always think that they can bend the Force to their will to control it, when in reality, the Force is in everything. But yeah, I just KOTOR 2, an amazing game. Darth Trey is an amazing character. Forge said Maul Soy Lord. Oddball said Maul got mogged by Vader. He did. He did. What does that word mean? What does mogged mean?
Mogged basically
everyone's been using mogged and maxing, and it's just like
mogged is basically like when you take. It's like if you stand next to a guy and he mogs you, it just means he's better looking than you. That's basically all it means.
Oh, so I don't even think you used the right context for that, Oddball.
Well, people use it. People use it in that context as well.
Oh,
as a joke.
Oh, so it's like the N word. Like you can you can use the N word in different contexts and different verbs and nouns, right?
Basically, just a guy being better than you. But I wonder if what it says on Urban Dictionary. Hold on.
Sorry, that was a hot take, guys. My bad. I'm happy Maul Soyland is over.
When you have so much more muscle and are just overall larger than the person next to you or the group of people you're around. Okay.
Oh,
so
that sounds stupid.
It is dumb.
Maul is a weakling in Disney Star Wars. If it was Shadowhunter or Lockdown Maul, then it would be a challenge. Yeah, it'd probably be no contest. Chris said Maul should be even better than what he was from Phantom Menace. Yep. Scran said Vader got cucked in Jedi Survivor. He got stabbed and limped off screen. There's no coming back and pretending he's scary. Yeah, they've ruined Vader plenty of times. Like everyone cries about how they ruined Boba Fett. They ruined Obi-Wan, but the way they did Vader has been nasty as well. And I'll argue that the ruining of Vader that started in Rogue One, in my opinion. Mike C said the real Darth Maul does not cry. We should make shirts that say Darth Maul don't cry. Captain Ninja said Star Wars Tales 9 did it better. Which one is 9?
That's when Vader fights Maul, like a ghost of Maul, right?
I'd have to go back because that's a comic, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd have to go into that. I have to go back into that. Write that down. Chris says Vader would go easier for long-time purposes. However, he nearly lost the point. It was really dumb. Forge said if Kamari Vosa can stand up pretty good against Maul in a fight, then anything is possible, as Vosa was trained by Dooku. I love Kamari Vosa. I know you stand Kamari Vosa, Forge, but yeah, in all reality, Kamari Vosa, she was sick. Kamari Vosa's lightsabers are the one that Asajj Ventress gets. Like Dooku gives Kamari Vosa's lightsabers to her. Mike said, I love how we should feel sorry for Maul after in TCW he killed innocent people to lure out the Jedi and killing Obi-Wan's love interest in front of him. Yeah, just for that offense alone, like Maul and Savage Opress slaughtering that village, like they should have got put down right there and then. I don't know why they didn't send more than 2 Jedis to deal with Savage and Maul in that episode. A lot of questionable decisions made by the Jedi Order during the war, ain't it?
Yeah, at least in Disney.
Forge said Ventress did fight Maul briefly and lived. Yeah, in TCW, ain't it? Scran said thanks. Yeah, of course, bro. Real Maul lockdown, or Maul lockdown, excuse me. Disney Star Wars has basically become The Last of Us over and over again. Yeah. Forge said Maul Shadow Hunter lockdown in the Plagueis novel. And I'll throw it in as well, the Dark Lord trilogy. The Dark Lord trilogy is a must read as well, my friend. You will read the Dark Lord trilogy. Scran said no Maul, no cry. Bob Marley. No Maul, no cry. Fuji's cover too. February said, would you want Filoni to get his own movie so it can fail publicly, or do you want his Avengers movie to be on Disney Plus? Well, I think we already kind of got a Filoni project, and that was the Ahsoka show, and we all saw the capability that brought and what that turned out to look like. So, I wouldn't put too much into that jar, Junior. All right. I think we're done with Bothan Report. We're wrapped up with that. So go ahead and take that down. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like and be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the stream. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think in the comment section after you guys if you guys are watching this on the replay. And also be sure to follow me on X at the Decrepit One, and be sure to follow Narrowdark too. We'll be linking all of Narrowdark's credentials and links in the description after the show is over. All right, I think we're gonna get to our next segment, but first, do you need a break, or you just went on a break? You just went and got something, right?
Yeah, I got my my Nintendo Switch 2 delivered.
Oh, sick, dude. Yeah, that's a perfect segue. We're gonna get right into some video game talk, but real quick, I'm gonna run to my my refrigerator because I need a drink. So real quick, we're gonna play this clip, and then we're gonna get right into some video game talk. So do not go anywhere, guys.
The Star Wars saga continues. The Empire strikes back. At Luke Skywalker,
I've been hit!
Princess Leia,
Give the evacuation code signal.
Han Solo,
Said you want to be around when I made a mistake. Well, this could be it, sweetheart.
I take it back.
Lando Calrissian, C-3PO,
Wait, me!
R2-D2, and Chewbacca. The new chapter of Star Wars. The Empire strikes back.
All right, we're back. Had to get me a cold beverage. I stocked my fridge, man. I got these Dr. Pepper Zero Sugars. I've been trying to cut back on the sugar intake, but I just love the taste of the 23 flavors. All right. All right, next segment is I totally forgot. It's a video clip. I was going over here to the side right here, but I forgot I added it to a video clip. So let's get into some gaming tisms. All right. So anyway, that was a little segue right here. You said you just got your Nintendo Switch 2. So is this like fresh delivery off the box off the truck?
Yeah, I got it Ubered over from JB Hi-Fi.
Nice. What game are you gonna be dipping into?
Well, I got it with Pokemon Poketopia or Pokopia. It's basically you just build a bunch of environments for Pokemon.
Oh, okay. That's a new one? I'm so out of the loop when it comes to like Nintendo games. So is that the newest Pokemon game?
Yeah. And I also want to get Tamagotchi Life, where you can like create characters and have them hang out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Your gaming catalog must be interesting to see. Like your Steam library must be something, huh?
Yeah, my Steam library is fucked, and most of those games I haven't even played. So
Yeah.
whenever there's a sale, I'm just like, yeah, like, fucking hell.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. You cut out, so I thought I cut out a little bit. It was on my end though. So I know last episode we were talking a little bit. We talked about the Assassin's Creed remake and the Black Flag remake, basically how that's going to be coming out in July, I believe. And oh, excuse me. I went ahead, man, and I ended up dipping back into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I know you and me were discussing some of the older Assassin's Creed games, and you were preaching your praises about how much you loved Brotherhood. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let me dip my toes back into it, dude. And so I powered up my Xbox console, and I threw my Brotherhood copy from the 360 into it. Gotta love backwards compatibility. And so I was playing Brotherhood for, I want to say I'm about like 6 hours in right now, like 5 or 6 hours in. And man, dude, like Brotherhood is really good. Brotherhood is like the whole sense and the feeling that you get from Brotherhood, knowing that Ezio's like in his he's like in his, this is like peak Ezio Auditore, you know what I mean? Like Ezio Auditore has reached like master assassin level. He's got all of the bells and whistles, the gun wrist, the dual blades get introduced, and then you can start recruiting people into your own guild. So Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I gave it a lot of slack as not being like my highlight out of the Ezio Auditore trilogy. But yeah, that Brotherhood's, it's crept up a little bit higher since the last time we spoke.
Nice.
Yeah. I
'Cause
just
it
Go
is
ahead.
so good. It is such a good game.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, Oddball said it. Yeah, new Assassin's Creed remastered looks good. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. There's a few games that are going to be coming out. The Lego Batman, the new Lego Batman game looks amazing, but I was hearing that there was like some performance issues for it actually. Like that it's not performing well on PC, the PC port. I don't know if anyone else has heard about that, but for some reason it leaked actually on console, or like some people have been getting it, or some people have been playing it, and they've been saying it runs smooth like butter. But as far as the PC port, that's where some of the talk and like the discourse has been leaning. I don't know if anyone's seen like the coverage or the footage of the gameplay, but it's basically tying in. What are they calling it? Legacy of the Dark Knight, like Lego Batman. I think it has something to do with the Dark Knight, where they're basically intertwining all of the movies into it. Like you're getting Christopher Nolan's Batman, you're getting the Batman animated series, you're getting the Michael Keaton's Batman, Val Kilmer's Batman, George Clooney's Batman. Like you're getting all of them, Adam West's Batman, everything balled up into one Batman game. And I'm here for it. It's a shame that it's gonna be taking place in Lego form, because I saw that they're also like implementing kind of like the Arkham style of combat to this Lego game. That's fun. Like who doesn't like the Lego, or who doesn't like the Arkham system? But I just wish that we were getting another Arkham game, I guess, at the end of the day, because I'm such a fan of the Batman Arkham series. And that's also too, that was a leak that it got proved to be just a rumor, and it wasn't actually real. But there was somebody that was trying to stir up leaks saying that Rocksteady is working on a new Arkham game, or a new Batman game. But this is also the same Rocksteady that worked on the last Suicide Squad game, and we all saw how that train wreck ended up being and coming about. So I actually hope that Rocksteady doesn't keep touching Batman anymore, because actually, if you guys looked really deep into it, the original developers from the Rocksteady that we all know and love from like Arkham City and Arkham Knight, those guys are no longer affiliated with the company. They went off and they did their own thing. So the Rocksteady that's existing now are basically a whole like handpicked people from like Warner Brothers that got put in charge of their studio. And also, it's kind of like the same situation with the Witcher series. Witcher 4 is basically being led by CD Projekt Red, but a lot of the main people from the original 3 Witcher games are not a part of the new CD Projekt Red studios. Matter of fact, the people that left CD Projekt Red, and the people that led the CD Projekt Red during the first 3 Witcher games, those guys broke off and they're doing their own studio thing, to where they're coming out with that vampire game. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, Blood of the Dawnwalker. We talked about it here.
September.
Yeah, we talked about it here on an episode before. I can't remember which one we talked about it on, but Blood of the Dawnwalker looks amazing. I can't wait till that comes out. I'm gonna buy that too. So but Narrowdark's talking about getting a console in the mail. I'm actually having this fucking epidemic since we last talked about it. I've gone to GameStops, bro, and it is really a thing. Like these consoles now are $650, and I can't believe that. I can't afford that.
Yeah, this Switch was $700.
Jesus Christ. Are you serious? Well, good for you. Good for you. I'm happy for you. That you got yourself what is it, like birthday present or early Christmas present to yourself?
Yeah, this was definitely a stupid purchase, but I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get
Yeah,
it
don't
anyway."
say stupid. You're gonna have hours of enjoyment. I'd take it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I, I'm really excited. The Lego Batman game looks fun. Narrow Dark, like you're not interested in that one at all, huh? You could care less. Lego Batman.
uh, I think I have some on the Epic Game Store, but I haven't played them in forever. There was a DC Villains Lego game that I got, I think, on
Yeah,
the Switch that I played for a bit. But
yeah. The Lego
yeah.
Lego DC Villains was that was actually a fun game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have it on my Xbox, and I would play it here and there, and it was actually pretty fun. A lot of like kooky like storylines, and like it was funny. Like there's some good jokes and like good comedy in it, but it's not like it's not like you don't take that game really serious as much. But
Mm.
the original Lego Batman, well, I guess I guess I could backtrack that. All of the Lego games have like a funny satire feel to them. They all have jokes and they keep it pretty lighthearted. Even in the if there's serious material being discussed, like deaths in like the Star Wars franchise, they still made them funny. But man, I guess this is where this is the part where I miss Keely, because I know Keely loves the Lego games, and it's part of that's definitely up his alley. He likes them. Uh, but aside from Lego Batman 3, games that are coming out like this year, dude, like fuck, man, like I did see this before we went live and before you and me were talking in backstage. Pre-orders are going to be going up soon for GTA 6. I saw that there's emails going around that the pre-orders are going to be opening up. Oh,
Well, definitely gonna have to get that.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, who knows? Because I was like, it might not even come out this year, but I guess if they're gonna open up pre-orders, then maybe they're pretty set on it releasing at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's coming at the end of the year, dude. But I just, I just hope. I don't think they're going to hit it with another delay, but I really want GTA 6 to be good. I don't know why I'm so apprehensive about it. I I've said what I wanted to say about it a little bit when I dropped the video that I put out for it, but GTA 6, it's the same thing with the studio, man. Rockstar Studios, original people from the old Grand Theft Auto games are not in this new Rockstar Studios. Like there's a whole lot of new titles that are going to be coming out, and a lot of the original creators are not a part of the teams anymore, so that has a big part to play in it.
Yeah, I think really I'm not expecting the story to be like great. I don't even think GTA 5 story was that good. The gameplay is really all I care about. Like if it's fun, then that's chill. But like, I would love it if the story was on par with like Red Dead 2 or something. But I feel like that is like just it was a
To be
fluke.
honest with you, I don't think any story is going to top Red Dead 2, or
Yeah.
like Red Dead 1 and 2 together. Like I don't think any of the Grand Theft Auto stories that come out are going to top that ever.
Yeah, I think like the thing about Red Dead, it's more of like an authentic Western story than something like GTA is always like a satire of that sort of like criminal gangster sort of like those archetypes, those characters. I think if they I mean like I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the writing was on par with like The Boys in terms of how fucking dumb it is.
That's a fair take. I think that like when you play GTA 5, I know you said right now the story is not anything like special, but you get a lot of vibes like when you're playing as Franklin and Lamar, his buddy, and they're having their banter back and forth. I always think of the Friday movies, like the Ice Cube Friday
Mm.
films when I'm thinking of Franklin and Lamar together. Like they're just so funny, and I think of Ice Cube and Chris Tucker like having their banter back and forth. So yeah, I think that they parody a lot in those games, especially for the Grand Theft Auto series. But you know what, dude? You want to know what's my guess when GTA 6 drops and we have this male and female protagonist like team up? I think and you guys can quote me on this, and if I end up being right, then you heard it here first. I think that the male character, he's gonna get pinched, or he like the female character, she gets pinched, she's in prison, she gets out. The guy character's been like waiting for her to get out. But my guess is that you're gonna be playing missions as the guy character, and he ends up actually flipping and snitching for the police. And then
Yeah,
I think I think
yeah.
that's gonna be like a climax moment between him and his girlfriend, or like him and the girl together, like to where he's gonna either like try to have her flip too, to where they like turn on like a criminal enterprise or something, or it's going to be a climax decision in the game where you have to like take her in or put her down, and then she doesn't like want to comply, and then they end up trying to kill each other. So
Mm.
I don't know, like, because they've tried to sell me on this whole Bonnie Clyde thing, but I don't think it's going to be as face value as just as simple as that. I think they're going to have them try to be pinned against one another at some point in the story. And I think it's going to be the guy that flips to the police, or he's snitching for the police. And then it's going to have a point where he gets exposed for it. And then he's going to be put with a choice to whether he wants to like continue flipping or continue snitching and being a cop, or he's going to pick up the life of crime. Kind of like the Fast and Furious movie, like the first Fast and Furious film. You're going to be Brian O'Connor, and you're going to be Brian, and basically fraternizing with some little Latina criminal ass, and then you're going to be having a choice whether or not you want to keep being the bad to the bone, or you want to stick it to them and follow the law.
Latina's gonna make me fucking go the criminal life, bro. That's how they get you. That's how the Latinas get you.
Latinas will make any man leave his family, leave his life.
I'd go against the law for a Latina, honey.
You don't even got those in your country.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Don't remind me.
How does that feel to not have a certain type of like ethnicity that you
Fucking sad.
Like? Anyway, Scran said Rockstar is also Scottish, not British, or also Scottish, not Irish. Excuse me, Scran. Sorry, it's been a long night. Oddball said Lego Batman 1 was peak. Beyond Gotham was too much. You know what? I feel that Beyond Gotham was there was a lot going on. Like sometimes when those Lego games try to stretch themselves like open world shit, sometimes the worlds feel really lackluster. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that. I like the old style system, kind of like how it adopts from like the Indiana Jones Lego games, the Star Wars Lego games. You have like a main hub, a main like the cantina, or the college in Indiana Jones, you know what I'm saying? Or in the Batman game, you have like Wayne Manor and everything, you know, the Bat Cave. And then I liked in the first Batman Lego game where how you could switch to Arkham Asylum and play the missions as the bad guys. That was really cool. I like that a lot. So that was also very fun to me, in my opinion. And Scran, I agree with you. Lego Star Wars 2 is the best game ever. That Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy Lego adaptation, is better than the first one, because the first Lego Star Wars game was purely prequel trilogy. And then they came out with the original trilogy as the follow-up, which I think it was honestly, that was a solid decision on their part. And I played the shit out of Lego Star Wars 2. When the complete saga came around, yeah, of course, I liked it. I had it on the Nintendo Wii personally, and I had a good time. It was great. I like 100%ed it. But I always would go back to Lego Star Wars 2. I don't know why. Like I just the pure original trilogy aesthetic by itself, just good times, good memories. Forge said, "What happened to Keeley?" Nothing happened to him, man. He's good. He still talks to us in chat, or in the group chat, but he's just busy, dude. That's all. Yeah, nothing's wrong with him. We always wish him the best and hope he's doing good. He'll make it for an episode at some point when the schedules permit. Mike C said the complete saga was the best Lego Star Wars game. The TCW one was also pretty fun as well. Yeah, and then they came out with Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars. I had that for the Wii as well. I never played it. Like my brother and me, we got it like as a used copy, like later after the fact the game came out. But I never really played it like that. And then did anyone play Lego the Skywalker Saga, the new one that came out?
I've got it. It's kind of boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like there's just like a bunch of big open spaces you have to walk through to get to stuff, and the cutscenes are not as funny. They're not because they
And
speak.
yeah, and it's like full acting, right? Like full voice acting.
Yeah,
I
slang.
know they had mumble mode added to the game to where you don't have to listen to the voice acting, but yeah, it doesn't
It
feel
doesn't.
right.
It doesn't. It's not the same because they're not doing like physical comedy because they had actual
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
Like in the original games, they would do that stuff because they didn't have lines.
Yeah, they would use props more and like wave their hands around and just mumble and groan. Yeah.
Yeah, there's none of that in the game.
I can't stress to you enough. Scran can probably attest to this because he loves the second one so much. But when you're playing Lego Star Wars 2 and you're playing the end of the Bespin duel, and then you have Luke on the on the fucking antenna hanging there, and then Vader pulls out the photo of Lego Padme and Lego Anakin Skywalker with the baby, and he's like, her, and he's like pointing at the photo and pointing at Luke and then pointing at himself, and it's just funny, dude. Like there's just so many little funny things. Also, too, like when Boba Fett is like following Han Solo and Leia in the Falcon, and then he like turns to the camera and like laughs and he's like like there's just little things. There's little things in the Lego games that are just like you can never reproduce that. It's just timeless, forever going to be funny and like forever memed in our minds. Mike C said, never played the Skywalker Saga. The Force Awakens one basically stretches out every little scene because it's just one movie. So yeah, the Skywalker Saga, I was considering getting it. It's only like $20 for a pre-owned copy at my GameStop. I was thinking about getting it just so I could play the original 6 movies in that format because it's real high def and all that stuff, and the combat's upgraded and what have you, and all the characters and stuff. So I was thinking about getting it, but I told myself, I was like, better not, because it has the sequels in it, and I don't want to own anything that has Disney Star Wars stuff going on. So I opted not to. Maybe if somebody gifts it to me, I'll do it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I got a bunch of the Lego games on Steam because they're on sale. So I've got like
The Lego
I've got
games
D-
are always on sale at
yeah, I've
one
got like
point or another.
DC Supervillains, Harry Potter, Marvel, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
So did you play the Lego Lord of the Rings ever, actually?
Nah, that's why I got it.
Okay, because I've never played the Lego Lord of the Rings. Maybe somebody in chat or the replay can tell me, but if they're good or not, or if they're fun to play. But from what I gathered, the Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings like Lego era games, they were a little more like along the lines of RPG in nature, from what I understand. And when I say that, like they had more of the map and the storyline was set place into like an open world maps to where you went to different like cities and villages, and there was a lot more side quest options. Like Indiana Jones kind of opened the door for Lego Harry Potter and Lego Lord of the Rings, so those games could run with it.
There
But
a Lego Pirates of the Caribbean? I'm pretty sure I remember
I've never
playing it.
played that either. Yeah,
I
I've
remember playing it when I
never
was a
played
kid
Lego
and-
Pirates.
and liking it.
You said you sure you're gonna play it and like it, or you have?
I played it when I was a kid. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Let me check if it's on Steam.
Yeah. And while you're looking that up, is there any like Dark Souls fans in the chat? Because I was playing Dark Souls 3 again to punish myself a little bit yesterday, and I needed a break from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood because I was going hard for like 4 hours in a row, and I needed a palate cleanser. I needed to hate my life again, so I powered up Dark Souls 3, and there's this one part, dude, that I'm playing, and you're like in this crypt church, and it's like these like double like knights. I don't even know what the proper name is for them, but they're like some knights, and there's two of them, and they move really fast with like these long distance striking attacks, and I just can't for the life of me pass them. I've been stuck on this boss fight for like a year and a half now. I go to it every now and then I'm like, yep, I remembered I hate this game, and then I take it out and I just put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, I've never been able to finish any of those games because they're too hard. I've
Ah,
played like
get good,
I played
get good.
3, and I've played Sekiro, and I've played Bloodborne. I really like the aesthetic of Bloodborne,
Yeah,
but there's always a
yeah,
point where I'm like, I can't fucking do this
a lot
anymore.
of people, a lot, yeah, dude, a lot of people love Bloodborne. Yeah, yeah. See, Mike C said it right here. My only experience in that genre so far is Bloodborne. Yeah, a lot of people like that game. People want Bloodborne to get remastered. They want a sequel. People are gonna like if they ever touch anything with Bloodborne, having to do with anything with that game franchise. Yeah, people are gonna lose their minds. Elden Ring, I actually haven't played it. I own it. It's sitting there. I just haven't played it yet.
Same, I own it, but I haven't played it.
I own Sekiro too, and I'm stuck on the lady tiger boss fight where you're under the house that's on fire. And damn,
Right, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that boss fight is so. I know I sound like a fucking noob, and there I'm like, and everyone's probably like, "You want to talk about video games?" But yeah, I'm not good at every single video game that's out there, man. But I do. I like. There's games that I like getting my ass handed to me, and I still have a good time.
Yeah, like
Oh, this is a good time.
I'm out here playing like the 3 same games all day. It's Skyrim, Crusader Kings, and Terraria. Like that's what I play. You know,
So you know what's funny, dude? You know what I jumped into like after our last episode of Unlimited Tirade? When I went back into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I also powered up Dragon Age 2.
oh, I've got Dragon Age games. I
So
haven't
yeah,
played
so
those first 2 ones. I played
I played
Inquisition, terrible
I
game.
played Inquisition's bad. I've played Origins. I played Origins last year because I needed to play it again. I play through Dragon Age Origins like every like 5-6 years or so. And I did my Origins playthrough last year, and then I was realizing to myself last week, I was like, oh, dude, I was like, I haven't played Dragon Age 2 yet. Like it's been years since I played it, probably a decade plus since I played Dragon Age 2. So I powered it up, and man, dude, yeah, I love the game. I love that game. Dragon Age is a good franchise up until they ruined it. So yeah, like I remember watching all the videos of what was it, Dragon Age Veilguard? Is that the one? Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, bro. I had such a fun time watching other people play it and pulling out their fucking hair while they're playing it. It was one of the best experiences ever. I'm so glad that they put that game out. Like they had the balls to put it out because after seeing what was in it, I couldn't believe it. There's people at studios that really put out product like that and they think that they're doing a good thing. They think they're adding to society in a good
It's
way.
like Forspoken. Have you ever heard of that game?
Excuse me, I was taking a sip. I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
The guys who played the guys who made Smiling Friends, they have like a series where they play it on their chat on Only Plays.
Oh my god.
Fucking hilarious watching them play it, but that
Yeah.
game is genuinely fucking terrible.
Yeah, I've not heard good things about it, dude. To know that they have a playthrough. Let's hey Charlie, let's play let's play Forspoken. Mike C said my only experience. Okay, sorry, I read that already, Mike. My bad. Try this JRPG, Resonance of Fate. Its combat mechanic is shooting. It can be very frustrating. Resonance of Fate. I have to look into that. I'll get it on Steam or something. Forge said, "Have you guys played the Kingdom Hearts games?" I haven't played Kingdom Hearts since I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I played.
I haven't played
I
those since
think
I was
is
a
it
kid.
Birth by Sleep on the PSP.
Uh-huh.
That's the one I played. I'm not really a fan of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I was never a fan personally, but I can recognize that there's a fan base and like a dedicated group of people that like the cult following that follows those games. I can see the appeal. I get it. Like I think I always thought that the keyblade weapon was pretty that's pretty ingenious. I always liked the concept of that. There was actually a buddy of mine that would make the keyblades from the Kingdom Hearts games, and he made them all out of like old like pizza boxes. And
Nice.
and he would like cut up the cardboard and then like hand paint them and stuff. And he made them with like PVC piping and everything. They look pretty cool too for being made out of cardboard. Pretty neat. Wonder what happened to that guy. Forge said they're also on Steam and Epic Games. Okay, got you. You know what's a franchise that I never delved into that I saw today on randomly, like the Mech Warrior, or no, Armored Core. Is that what it's called? Armored Core, where you're playing as like the giant mechs. No?
Yeah,
Anybody?
Armored Core. Yeah, I played that when I was because I had forgotten what it was called. But when I was in high school, I played one of those games. And I thought it was fucking sick. And there's the new one. What is that? 6? Armored Core 6. Yeah, like from what I remember, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I never played that franchise whatsoever, but I always thought it looked neat. I saw a video a day or so ago that made me like look at the gameplay, and I was like, man, I'm like that looks like another rabbit hole I don't need to follow. I don't need to fall down into. I want to be a fan of so many different gaming franchises, man, but I only have so much time to play stuff. I only have one lifetime, and it sucks. Yeah, but anything else? Like, what are you playing? Anything else currently, Narrowdark, or no, not really? Just what you said, like your 3 games, and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
What else? Like, well, other than some Nintendo games that I plan on playing, I don't think I'll be buying any new games for a while because
yeah,
I
I
need to
don't think
save
so
some
either.
money.
Yeah, set you back a little bit with this purchase. Um, Dude, what about have you ever played the Darksiders franchise? You familiar with Darksiders at all?
Yeah, I've played the second one and the third one.
Okay. I don't know if I've asked you that before. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But Darksiders, I actually did a replay before last Unlimited Tirade episode. I actually did my playthrough and beat Darksiders 1, the remastered copy. I beat that, and then I powered up Darksiders 2, but I haven't beat it yet. Darksiders 2 is a little more RPG style, and whereas the first one's more like action or oriented. So with Darksiders 2, I'm like stuck I'm in the city of the dead right now in the puzzle where you have to like bring out the champion of the arena. So there's like some puzzles that I'm solving, but I haven't been in the mood to play like a puzzle game. So I put it on the back burner until then. But Darksiders 3, I had never played Darksiders 3. I haven't played that one yet. And I know that Darksiders 4 is in development still. They did the preview. The preview trailer for Darksiders 4 was released like I want to say like 7 or 8 months back. And they're working on it, but that's a game that I'm like low key hyped for that when it finally comes out eventually.
Yeah, third one is very it's different and not as
People said
good.
that the third one was a little more true to like the first game's mechanics.
Maybe it is. I haven't played the first one. I thought it
Oh,
was
dude.
all right. I thought it was all right. You know, the third
Yeah,
one.
dude. Yeah, you totally have to play the first one. The first one sets the good foundation. The second one is like, oh, you like this about it? Well, now try this, and it ups the ante on everything, like to a 10. And then 3, I haven't played it yet. So I can't speak on it. But from what I've heard, like reaction wise, and a couple people that are in my circles in real life that have played Darksiders 3 said that it was more action. They jumped more into the action oriented style of the first game, and they kind of dialed back the RPG stuff, which
Yeah,
is fine.
that
Like,
is probably explains why like some people didn't like it if they were more fans of the second one, and the third one is not like that. So yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. And plus, I love the horsemen of the apocalypse, like being the main characters of a game. That was just appealing to me off the jump. Yeah, they have their own like warped versions of like the heaven and hell, heaven and hell, like lore that they throw at you with like their world that they're building. But it works really well, and I like the aesthetic for everything. Everything looks good too. So yeah, those games are awesome. Darksiders franchise. I can't wait to see what the fourth one gives us. We're gonna be getting wrapping up here pretty soon. What is it? Let me catch up on chat. A few of you guys said something. Webslinger said, "Forgot to ask you this, but what do you think of Adam Eve controversy for new season of Invincible?"
Because she got
What?
fat.
What?
Who cares? Or is it the
We
abortion thing?
talked about that. You can go back to our last episode of Unlimited Tirade and I actually have it clipped in the Unlimited Tirade clips playlist. Me and Narrowdark have an entire 40-minute video basically of us talking about Invincible season 4, and you guys can go check that out if you want to hear our opinions on that one, guys. Yeah. Everything that any question you probably could ask about our opinions on season 4, it's in that video. So go check that out. February said Nintendo will reliably keep their games at $60 even a decade after release. I don't ever plan on Nintendo ever folding when it comes to pricing their titles.
Yeah, they are
Nintendo's a greedy fucking company.
they're
They
so
are
greedy.
so
They will
soulless.
send you like they'll sue people just for making fan like mods or projects
Oh
or
yeah,
anything.
yeah. Nintendo's heartless. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about its fans. They just know that you're just gonna shut up and stick that fucking cock in your mouth, and you're gonna keep paying money for it. Sorry. Narrowdark wants me to start. Narrowdark said, "Oh, we shouldn't slur anymore because people are getting cut off."
But
of
that wasn't a
YouTube."
slur. That wasn't a
Oh,
slur. That
well,
was just
yeah, it was
vulgar
more
as
of
hell.
a vulgar word, I guess you could say. But I'm trying to be a little bit cleaner. But I'm trying real hard, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd, and it's hard. Oddball said, "No, not alone." Yeah, that's a quote from War from the first game. If you know, you know. February said, "I'm excited for Vader 2 to save Star Wars later this month. Suffer, bald man." Suffer theory. Nah, dude. I don't want to start. Don't get me started. We're gonna be wrapping up the show, and I don't feel like getting riled up about Star Wars theory. Maybe Narrowdark will be in the mood for it, but not me. All right. I think that might cover everything that I wanted to cover for this episode. Again, in totality, happy birthday once again to George Lucas, the maker. Appreciate you being here on this earth, good sir. I know you don't watch the show, but I'm putting it out into the ethos that we love you. We care about you, George. Anything else you wanted to add, Narrow Dark, before we wrap it up tonight?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. You're gonna. So you said you're not going to be putting out a video for Maul Shadow Lord, but any other videos? I know you dropped that Yoda Rendezvous video that everyone can go check out. We're going to link that in the description for you guys to go check out, of course, after we post the replay up. But is there anything that people might be looking for on the channel dropping in the next few weeks or so?
Maybe. I don't know.
I know
We'll
you were
see.
hitting your fucking vape, you degenerate. Yeah, I can hear.
maybe
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I hear
maybe
you.
another book review. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Sounds good. I'm cooking up videos, like I said in the update. I was saying thank you to everybody in the last video for we hit 150 subscribers on the channel, guys. So that was a nice little milestone. Ha ha! Hooray! Hurrah! Hurrah! Good stuff. But yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Nothing else to cover. If you guys want to check this out on the replay, go ahead and do so. It'll be posted to the channel. And then we're probably going to cut up this episode into a couple segments for the clips playlist. So be on the lookout when we upload those separately. So anything else you have to say? Goodbye, Narrow Dark. Anything else to the people, or you're done, or you're good? Yeah, you're good. This motherfucker.
Sorry. Just hitting the vape.
This motherfucker.
Well, not much to say other than I'm caught up on The Boys and it's fucking terrible. And there's one episode left and it's going to be shit.
You should know that it's horrible. That's why I stopped after season 2. That show's horrible. Don't start.
I don't know what happened. The first 3 seasons are decent. Like the first 3 are pretty good, and then season 4 and 5 have been fucking terrible and really boring. And I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right on, dude. Yeah, I have no commentary for that, dude. Yeah, that show's just it's bad. It fell off the rockers and it's not good. But good luck with that. I hope you seethe and rage about it once the last episode comes out. But all right, with that being said, guys, appreciate everybody for joining us for another episode of Unlimited Tirade. We will catch you guys next time when we stream once again. Be sure to check me out on Monday night when we stream Hang Out With Your Floppy, where we talk comic book media, book culture, and videos and what have you. And we'll see you on the next one. So with that being said, guys, may the force be with you all, and go piss off. Good night, everybody.
Welcome to the show, where the truth gets very low. Every scream's a $sign, every lie's by design. Corporate masters pull the strings, watch the puppets dance and sing. Unlimited tirade, unlimited tirade. No more feeding on that fake parade. We're see through the charade. Unlimited tirade.